Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of Let's Play Dreamfall Chapters. Oh, we had a really rough session last time with the death of a beloved character. This time, we apparently need to explore these labs with Zoe. This looks so weird. I imagine... But when were we taking over like this? When we slept at the place? I don't remember. Probably.
They're on some kind of lockdown. I'm guessing because of me.
Where do I go?
What do they do in this lab? Bioengineering, definitely, but what exactly?
Who's Jiva?
Jiva. That sounds familiar. Wait, Helena Chang's company. My mother.
Oh yeah, wasn't Jiva the company I made a delivery to in the very first, well, in the second game? As Zoe at the beginning of the game, and that's where everything went down? So am I back in Marrakesh?
Heavy duty.
Okay.
They could easily lock down this entire place.
I wonder why they haven't, and why they're not. Well, this is fancy. Reminds me of Portal, actually. Well, let's go to the incubation lab, and I don't know if I'll be able to get out of here.
One 9. Faith. Faith. As in my half-sister, Faith.
What? Are they like cloning them, or?
1 5. Hope. 1 3. Hannah. 1 1. Zoe. Jesus. What does this mean? Was that my incubation pod?
Is Zoe a clone? Is she specially bred for this kind of stuff?
They're scanning molecular structures. People. Brains. They're scanning molecular structures.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Brains.
Brains! Oh, this is awfully, delightfully creepy.
What are those things?
Well, we've seen a lot of tubes all over the world. I guess it makes sense that they're here as well. Uh-oh. Get out!
Jiva 7 proceeding towards sequencing. Affirmative Central will find Briar Rose.
Oh god. They're everywhere. They're closing in on me. You ain't touching me. Quickly, into sequencing.
Shit. I'm trapped.
I imagine this is supposed to happen?
We have a runner exiting bioengineering. This is not Briar Rose. Shoot to kill.
Huh.
Target's down. Repeat, the target's dead.
Affirmative. Head back to bioengineering. There may be witnesses. Take care of them.
Affirmative, Watty Central.
Watty Central. So Watercorp is controlling all of this. Of course, as usual, there's still so much stuff left with the Watercorp that was not resolved in the last game. If you remember, at the end, the head of Watercorp was assassinated by his, like, assistant lady and those two ninjas. You remember those two ninjas? Yeah, we didn't see what happened with those. They're still around.
Poor guy.
Probably in Japan, but still, be nice to see if there was some kind of... Okay. Well, this isn't helping. It would be nice to get some closure to know what the hell that was all about. Okay, well, let's go back here.
Where
What's
am
this?
I? Underground? And what are those blue lines?
That's a good question. So we know that that area is locked. Does this guy have anything on
I
him?
hate to do this, but I need this more than you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I wonder why they shot him if he was working here and had an ID card. Maybe got freaked out by one of the experiments.
We clear. No survivors and no Briar Rose. Resuming control towards sequencing Central.
Towards secret. Oh god! They seem to be like expunging all evidence.
They're all dead. Jesus, this is horrible.
We'll be dead too if you don't move it, Zoe.
Hold it.
Oh yeah, I messed up. Haha, scrub.
Zone 3. All eyes on Zone 3.
But they know where I am now. Oh, lordy. Lordy lord.
Hey, stop right there.
Catch me if you can, motherfuckers! Oh,
Dad?
goodness.
Zoe, don't
Stop! Don't move or I shoot. We got her. She's in the core. I repeat, target is in the core. Stay there. Everyone stay exactly where you are.
Hello, Zoe.
Lady, I told you.
Mum. Helena. Dad, what's going on? What is this place?
You need to get out of here. Now.
Everyone, stop talking!
What is going on down here? Lady, you're evil. I never would have thought that our dad was in on it, though.
The new age. Goddess, protect me. I pray I'm doing right by you. We cannot let outsiders dictate the future of our empire. The Prophet is a tool, and so is this engine. Your light is eternal, Goddess. Under my watch, it will reach the darkest corners of the world, and beyond.
Behold, the mechanical revolution, an end to magic, the dawn of enlightenment. Witness the engine and its awesome powers.
Keon, please respond.
I don't think he can hear you, Anna. If he's hurt, we'll need a new plan.
Shit. We can't even get out of here with those soldiers trying to break in.
Yeah. About that. Is it just me, or is it,
Quiet? The soldiers must have left. Something's going on.
Something bad if they've abandoned their posts.
We need to move. Now, if we can't get through to Keon, or if he's dead, we need to get into the tower ourselves.
But how?
If the Azadi really have abandoned their posts, through the front door.
That sounds incredibly dangerous.
I'm sure it will be. Let's go.
Wait! Okay, you two head for the tower. I'm going to find the others. If the Azadi are running scared, we have an opportunity to strike back.
All right. Stay safe, Enu.
You too. I hope Kion's okay. I'm sure he's okay. Kion's always okay, right?
There you are.
Mum? What? Where's Dad?
You must have a lot of questions.
Hey, why am I locked up in here? Let me out!
I can't do that, but I promise I'll explain. Just try to relax.
Please, Is that... Dad? Dad! Dad, what's happening? Let me out!
He can't. Not yet.
What did you do?
I had to subdue him. There's so much at stake, I can't afford anyone getting overly emotional.
What is going on?
Even though Helena's my mother, she clearly has little empathy for me. Pleading may be pointless, but maybe she'll respond to anger.
I doubt she's going to respond to either of those things, but I'd be pissed if I woke up in this situation, so I'm gonna go with pissed!
Even though Open this up right now. Let me go. Let me out, or I swear I'll...
Calm down. Getting upset won't help you or your father. After we're done, you can leave. You and Gabrielle. That was the deal.
Done with what?
The culmination of 30 years of research. My life's work. Rebooting the world.
What?
I will explain, and hopefully you'll understand. But first, I do need you to calm down and be rational. Nothing good will come from panicking.
Ugh, I hate that kind of person. Like, they're holding you to ransom. Like, oh, you have to be calm and rational. It's like, dude, the world, the fate of the world.
She's right. There's no point fighting this. Not yet. All I can do is breathe.
Well, I guess at this point we have to. It's not like we can do anything by refusing and staying panicked inside this little pod thing.
That's better. Deep breath, Zoe. Now listen to me. For the past year and a half, you've been in a coma inside Jiva's labs in Mumbai. You've been dreaming.
No, that's not possible.
Hold on, I'm not saying it's all been a dream. Everything you've experienced has been real. That's what's so amazing and exciting, Zoe. While you were dreaming, you projected a physical binary of yourself into the waking world. Think of it like entangled particles, one copy here in my lab and one in Europolis. You dreamed yourself a new life in Propast, and it came to be as real as anything.
But why?
2 reasons. Misdirection, to keep Wadi Corp off our backs, and more importantly, to trigger your memories and activate your latent powers. We needed you to return to that parallel otherworld to find and absorb a primal source of dreaming energy to fulfill your potential.
Lux, are you there?
You have a unique skill. You must have realized this by now. You can reshape reality.
I'm a dreamer.
There have always been stories of those born with the power to change the world, but I couldn't wait around for that to happen, so your father and I made you.
I imagine in the lab and not through vigorous hanky-panky. But yeah, I guess those Wadi Corp dudes were trying to invade the lab and they weren't actually the lab's security. That makes more sense.
How's Gabrielle involved? What did he do?
I think they're partners in crime, basically.
They were married. Of course they made me. What does she mean?
Not like that, Zoe. You saw the tubes.
How's my father?
We were partners, and you were the first experiment, our first creation. We designed you, the first manufactured dreamer. You were born in this lab. There were other experiments, half-sisters. Faith, of course, the final girl. She was a mistake. And you met Hannah not so long ago. She was the second experiment, after you. You were drawn to each other, and she was drawn here, to Aingana, to the dreams. I know she's in Mumbai, but she's not strong enough to affect anything. She poses no threat. None of them worked out, not the way we intended. And I didn't think you would either. So I let your father take you away when you were a toddler. He cared so much about you, he was willing to give up everything, his life, his career. Me? How could I say no? It wasn't until you connected to a dream machine that I realized your powers were there, only latent. That's why I put you in a coma and brought you back here. I did it to protect you. If I hadn't, Wadi would have taken you. Your father had no choice but to come along. He did what he had to do to keep you safe. We both did. We saved your life, Zoe. And we made a deal. Gabrielle would help me finish what we'd begun. We'd be partners again. And then, afterwards, he could take you home. I'd leave you alone. The deal still stands, once we finish changing the world.
Changing the world? How? That is nuts.
Did she just say what I think she said? Helena is clearly unstable.
No, I think she's stable. I just think she's evil.
Changing what?
Changing everything. For the better. I need you to understand this. We're going to remake the world. You and I.
How?
I don't have time to go into details, but There's a place we go when we dream.
Story time.
Different cultures have different names for it. The Aranda people of Australia call it dream time. Think of it as the initial state of all matter and energy in every possible universe. The blueprint. All realities originated in this initial state, and they remain entangled, evolving, one universe affecting another. Wave energies are fueled by dreams. Particles in our world are entangled with particles in Arcadia because they were created together in story time. Eingana has the power to change the wave field, and thus the observable universe through dreams.
What does this all mean? What are you going to change it to?
Wati, the dream machine. They must somehow be connected to Helena and Jiva. What about my friends in Propast? What about Reza? Were they just dreams?
Yeah, I'm interested in this actually. What about everyone we knew in Propast?
If I dreamed myself into Europolis, what about Reza? My friends? Were they...
Dreams? No, you don't understand. They're real. All of it was real, Zoe. You were there in Propast, a physical projection walking amongst real people. A three-dimensional copy made flesh using the power of dreams. And they never realized. Well, at least most of them didn't. I sent someone to protect you in case anything went wrong. It's a good thing I did, too. Things spun out of control. Falk Friedman saved your life. As for Reza, it's more complicated. He's been an unwitting agent of Wati. His reckless investigations caught their attention. They needed to manipulate the press and they wanted to keep an eye on you. He was an easy tool, so they brainwashed him. We'll fix Reza, I promise.
Okay, so that explains Reza. I don't like that explanation. I think it's kind of lame. I thought that the ending of the second game where she's like, that's not Reza, was much cooler than, oh, it is Reza, but he's brainwashed. Like, kind of weak sauce.
What? So what's Waticorp's role in this?
Wati funded us, funded the development of the Dream Machine. We needed to collect and store dream energy. The Dream Machine facilitated that. They thought we were working for them, not the other way around. Wati just wanted brainwashed consumers. They wanted to sell their silly toy to billions and rule over a virtual world. They have no imagination.
How does Arcadia fit into the puzzle? If that wasn't a dream, then what is it? And Arcadia?
One of many worlds spawned from dreams. A world of... I'm a scientist. I don't understand magic. It's chaotic, complex, and unpredictable. Magic is dangerous, and it has no place in a rational universe. But we needed it. We had to bridge the divide in order to store these vast quantities of dream energy. We put things in motion to return you to Arcadia, but you did most of the work yourself. Of course, we had help on the other side, a partner, but he didn't... You did it on your own, Zoe. You were compelled to connect with the primal force that inhabited the initial state before this universe. That was only possible by crossing the divide. Something called you there. Some force guided you. I don't know how to quantify it or explain it, but you succeeded. You absorbed the energy, and it didn't kill you. You got stronger. Strong enough to wake up and break out sooner than anticipated, but the timing ended up being perfect. You've reached your full potential. You're finally ready to interface with Eingana.
She's mentioned Eingana several times now. It sounds important. And familiar. Eingana.
Meet Eingana. It took me decades to design and build her. She spans dimensions, taps into the dream energies. She's quite the thing. But she's actually not the first. Wati had the prototype. They used her to operate the beta version of DreamNet. After she was destroyed, we built Eingana 2. She operates the version of DreamNet currently processing and recording the dreams of hundreds of millions of Dream Machine users. And now, we're reversing the process with you. as the conduit, connecting quantum fields, connecting dreamtime with reality, Eingana will begin to alter our observable universe. Don't look so worried, Zoe. You won't need to do anything. She knows what to do. I've programmed her, and my template will guide her. Together, you'll make a better world. A world without sickness or death. A world without superstition, intolerance. A world where everyone's equal, where justice and compassion will prevail. A world not ruled by corporations or religions, but by science and logic, by rational thought. A better world.
Okay, sure. I'm not sure that the moral compass of the person doing these kinds of experiments and using children as lab rats is exactly the world that I'd love to live in, but...
I need to stall for time. Keep her talking until I can figure out a way to open this pod.
Yeah, well, let's try.
How will you accomplish all of this?
I know you have more questions, but we need to get started before those goons break down the doors and ruin everything.
Helena, wait.
Here we go.
Crow? Crow, is that you?
I think so. I'm supposed to show you something.
What? Why? What are you doing here? And where is here?
I don't know. I don't even know how I got here. I'm a bit... I don't feel right. I'm not sure what happened, and I'm not sure I'm all here, if that makes sense.
No.
No. Yeah, no. I can see how that makes no sense.
What are you supposed to show me?
Oh, I almost forgot. So the ghost in the machine told me to do this thing. This one last thing. The ghost said that this has been my destiny all along. I don't expect you'll know what I'm talking about.
Crow, I don't even know where this is. A minute ago I was inside a pod in a lab, and now...
We're inside the quantum weave that makes all the stories. This is reality's blueprint. How did I know that? What does quantum mean? What's a blueprint?
Well, that explains everything.
That was sarcasm. I detect sarcasm.
This ghost in the machine, who was it?
No idea. I remember nothing before meeting you here, aside from a ghost telling me to show you what I'm about to show you. And I don't even know what that is.
Show me what? There's nothing here.
Let's go find it.
Oh boy. Isn't this the room in Dreamfall? The very first room where everything began? Where Brian Westhouse walked into the... Is this in Tibet? Where the monks...
Does this look at all familiar to you?
It looks like a monastery.
Yes.
There you go. Maybe that's it.
That doesn't really help. Hey, that looks like a diary.
I'm telling you, it all ties back to Brian Westhouse. This is where Brian Westhouse, this is where the second game began. This is the intro to the second game. Brian Westhouse walked out and did something with the monk.
Your journey is about to begin.
Exactly. Let's read this.
I am at the crossroads between waking and dream. One path leads back to the world I left behind. The other path leads to a place of shadows. Between the familiar and the unknown, between certainty and doubt, my choice would seem obvious. Any sane man would turn around, return to the world he knows, forget what he has learned, and live his life in blissful ignorance. But in truth, it is too late. My choice was made many years ago, when I first embarked on this journey. I cannot turn back. I am at a crossroads. But for me, there is only one path. I leave behind these words in the hope that someday they will serve as a map for someone else. To whomever reads this, Godspeed on your journey. If you ever decide to follow in my footsteps, look me up. Brian Westhouse.
Brian Westhouse? Our Westhouse?
The plot thickens.
Thickens or just getting more muddled? I don't know what this is supposed to tell us.
That Westhouse is involved?
There's that, I guess.
Come on, there's more.
I mean, the only plot thread left open is Brian Westhouse, and I bet you anything that he's the Prophet. Is there more to read, or is there more to explore? Yeah, I can't interact with this anymore. Okay, let's go see. He walked through this way and then to the right, and there was like some kind of ceremony.
I've seen stuff like that in films, but never in real life.
There are
This
monks.
looks like a Buddhist temple.
There are monks all around. Yeah.
Okay, so what just happened?
Portals. They're all over the place. Let's follow him.
Through the... Wait! This is the story time.
You know this place?
I remember. I was here. For a long time. It's the place between. I didn't want to wake up and they needed me. The people who were dreaming. They were sick. I tried to help them.
Uh-huh. Interesting. But we need to see what's going on. I'm supposed to show you this.
I really love this guy. Reminds me actually of the when you die in WoW and everything goes like this. Yeah, so I guess following Brian Westhouse will finally reveal a lot of the questions that I have, because what on earth happened? Like, why did Cortez lead him to Tibet or help him get to Tibet in the first place? I don't get it.
What are you doing here? You cannot be here. It will find you.
I don't... Where am I? What is this place?
How did you get here? Go back the way you came, quickly. You cannot stay.
I don't know how to go.
It is here. What have you done? What have you done?
What do you mean? What?
The undreaming.
God. What is that? No. No.
This is the scene from the second game. We didn't know what happened because the undreaming like cut to the next scene, but maybe now we'll get to find out. Maybe it possessed Brian Westhouse? Wait, what happened?
What is that terrifying thing?
That's the undreaming. I know it is. I feel it.
Well, that's going to give me nightmares for a long, long time.
The undreaming entered Westhouse.
It sure did.
Was he looking for it? Is that why he came here? Or was it an accident?
I guess that's what you're supposed to figure out. Come on, we have more places to visit.
I bet you he's possessed and he's the prophet. I told you, he was evil and not worth trusting in anything. You mocked me when I said he couldn't stay in the house, but now who's the foolish one? That's still me, probably. Where is Zoe going and how can we stop the prophet? The answer to these questions and more in the next part.
But I'm not scared to